What's up, everybody? It's your boy Robbie Dagga. Yes, coming at you on November, I believe it's November 19th, 2016. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. It's November 20th, 2016. What I want to talk about is the updates that we had on this, what was it, the 18th? On Friday. We had some updates for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and those updates included a new fight. Guess what, guys? You get to fight Maxwell. Yes, everybody's pretty excited. We're all pretty souped about fighting Maxwell. A lot of feelings going around about Maxwell. Very almost a little controversial, if you wanna put it that way. A lot of gripes, a lot of cheese and wine going around about this Maxwell character. I just beat her personally. Took me about I'm not going to lie to you. Guys. I'm a big believer in being honest. I don't have any shame, no embarrassment. But I want to say that it took me around 20 tries. I don't want to say it took me 20 tries because that's too much, but I want to say it took me about, I'm guessing, between 15 and 20 tries to defeat Maxwell. What I want to say about it is a lot of people are complaining and saying that the Maxwell fight is a little overtuned, a little too hard for the amount of time that we've had Final Fantasy Brave Exvius compared to when Japan first got Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I don't know the exact time frames, but there's plenty of subreddits and little things on Reddit about this topic. I'm sure you've seen it. Basically, there's just a lot of complaining going around about how the Maxwell fight's a little too overtuned for us. We don't have the same. The biggest thing is and what really resonated with me was we don't have the same 6-star units that JP version had when they got the same fight. It's basically, JP version had Dark Knight, Cecil, and I really want to say Garland 6-star. And a lot of people want to be like, oh, Garland 6-star, he's not that good. Yeah, the heck right. Yeah, the heck right. You guys know in JP that Garland 6-star is up there with the best. You know it. Let's not even play around. Let's not even waste each other's time. I don't have that kind of time, and I'm sure you don't either. And all I'm saying is, when they got this fight, they had a little bit better units to choose from, and they had a lot more preparation. As far as Global versus JP. I know a lot of you guys have finished the battle, and I congratulate anybody who's finished it. If you did it, golden. That's beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing. If you finish that battle, I was able at endgame where I am now to get through this fight in only, I want to say, 3 or 4 turns, but it took a lot of grinding. To be honest, it took a lot of grinding. It's not ironic at all that the Cactar Dunes event came out the same weekend. You guys, the Dark Destroyers came out. All this stuff came out in the same time period. This banner, Dark Destroyers banner, I hate to be negative. I really do. I do not like to be negative. I think it's toxic. I think it's bad. I don't think there's anything good that comes out of it. I really do feel like if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say it, because there's plenty of people who appreciate things the way they are, who just don't need your negativity. But it is always nice to have another point of view. And my point of view on this banner is that it kind of sucks. And the reason why I say that is because all the units kind of suck, with the exception of Dark Knight Cecil and COD. COD, she does not suck. She is amazing. But there's been plenty of chances to get COD, and part of that is because, like, I feel, I don't even know how I want to say it. Basically, we've gotten like there's so many chances we've had, if you've been playing this game since launch, you've had so many chances to get COD. You probably have one. And I did. I had a couple of them. And I had them just like in the back burner. And I didn't realize their true potential until this Maxwell fight. Basically that Omni-Veil, y'all. And oh my gosh, like the Man-Eater, Cloud of Darkness gets naturally. It's just nasty, especially accompanied with the Man-Eater that Diabolos gives you. Except that Diabolos will get your COD kind of killed if you tried that setup in that fight with Maxwell, which I'm sure you've read about or you probably have experienced. I told you I tried it about 20 times, so you know I had a couple of things switched around a couple of those times. You know, the banner, Dwayne is awful. Dwayne's awful. Come on, y'all. I love Dwayne. Dwayne needs a 6-star. And, you know, if you feel the same way, I'm sure a lot of you do. Come on. Comment on that. Let's start a petition or something, because Dwayne needs a 6-star. He's garbage right now. He's pretty much cock-a-doodle. And then, you know, you had COD, you had DKC, Diesel. I mean, Diesel, oh my god, yes. Please. Except, you know, I don't have the RNG to be pulling Diesel on, you know, daily pulls and summon tickets, so I didn't get them. I mean, I don't have them. Honestly, I wasted all my summon tickets on this ridiculous, what is it, the FFB banner? And not that it's ridiculous, I'm just mad as heck because I wasted over, I want to say, I think 13, 14 summons. And I didn't get any of them, any of those characters on the banner. What in the world, you guys? That's all I'm saying. I mean, that's kind of bogus. That's kind of bogus. Definitely keep in mind, y'all, the RNG isn't against you. Don't take it to heart. Don't be re-rolling your classes and your characters because of it. It's just like, you're not gonna get all the characters you want, and that's how the game is meant to be. If you were to get them all, you know, they wouldn't be making as much money as they're making now. And it is about money, so just keep that in mind and watch your own wallet. Try to spend as least as you possibly can, especially when they pull some crazy tactics like they did this weekend. They give us a sorry ass banner, and they give us the same fight that JP had, and way overtuned Maxwell, and then those objectives. Let's be honest. The hardest objective on them all was most definitely evoking Diabolos during the fight and then finishing the fight. Let's be completely honest. Like, that was a challenge, and I have very mixed feelings about it. I know that was probably impossible unless your team was almost entirely 6 stars to do that part of the fight. I know I couldn't do it. My first attempt, I was using Luna, Lightning, Lena, Cecil, and Warrior of Light. Basically, what happened was I could not keep my team alive. The 5 stars, for whatever reason, I guess they just don't have the stats that the 6 stars have, but they would get themselves destroyed by anything. And by now you guys probably know, the tactics to the fight. And it was not easy. I mean, I was counting turns here, you guys. I was like so tempted at so many times to keep track of this with a pen and paper, much the way many of the guys told you to. I think it's a great idea. You needed it, because you would freaking forget when you casted provoke and need to know when you casted it, and all that stuff. This is a very technical fight, and as someone who plays like FF14, like this was right on the same level of difficulty as like a raid boss in FF14. Like you had to really this wasn't something you could play while on a date with like your shaboopy. This was something you had to really like get into the nitty gritty of the fight. You had to keep your buffs up, man. You lost one of your buffs, you were dead. The whole fight's over. You had to start over. You could be 15, 16, 17 turns into this fight. Oh my god. I'm sure I'm just reminding you guys just nightmares of nightmares. You guys are probably going to be dreaming. If you're like me, you're going to be having nightmares about this fight for at least a night or two. And they're not going to be fun nightmares. I mean, this fight, for anybody except a super whale, I'm going to say it probably, like, just, it was probably your first real challenge. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing more of in the future. And part of me is excited about it. And I do hope that in the future that they tone down these events so that more players can enjoy it. I do appreciate that it was something you had to really work towards, but I just don't feel like the way it is right now that everybody's going to be able to actually get enjoyment, any kind of enjoyment, out of that fight because of how hard it was and the RNG associated. But maybe we just haven't figured it out yet, and that fight's truly easy if you just figure out a couple things. But if you guys are like me, you had units dying every other turn and there was nothing you could do about it because Comet would RNG or Destiny would RNG, and Cecil and Warrior of Light, as much as you can provoke on either one of those fools, it's just a chance. There's always a chance that they're not going to provoke. They're not going to stand in the way of an attack. And you saw how Maxwell was hitting your units during that fight. In a way, it was an exhilarating fight for a lot of people. It was definitely the first, and I'm sorry to say, but I don't think it'll be the last of the difficulty of fights that are geared towards those who spent the most money in the game. As much as I hate to say it, it's just a good business decision by Square Enix, but I really hate to see it because that's the kind of thing that discourages the community from playing a game as a whole. It's one thing that whales are able to complete something that's super hard, but it's something that's just out of reach for, I don't know, it's hard to say, hard to talk about, because there are a lot of free-to-play players who completed this fight, you guys, and you can check Reddit and they're there. They've completed the fight as free-to-play players. I'm just saying it's not going to be likely that you are able to complete the fight. And if you're not, I would say honestly just move on. Don't be wasting your energy. This is a 20 energy fight, you guys. A 20 energy fight to challenge Maxwell. You don't need to be wasting your energy if you don't. If you'd rather be grinding, I mean, it came out at the same time as the the Metal Cactar event. That can be so much more beneficial for you to run the Metal Cactar event than to grind, than to attempt even to fight Maxwell. After everything we just talked about, all the how much harder this is for us global players, they give us a 5-star Maxwell for finishing this fight. This awful, grueling, 20-minute, 20-turn fight. They give us a 5-star piece of crap Maxwell. Where in the heck is our 6-star Maxwell that we fought for and deserved? There shouldn't even be a 5-star Maxwell. To me, I think that's what gets me a little bit heated the most, was where the F did this 5-star Maxwell come from? And why is she the reward for completing this mission? That's why everybody, if you can't beat this fight, if this fight's too hard for your team, your team's not ready to defeat this fight, who cares? Don't even worry about it. Honestly, I would say just look away. Stay off the stay off the FFB Reddit for, a weekend. It won't kill you. Or, resist, do your best. Don't even worry about this fight, because okay, we talked about how it's overtuned and it's too early, and big shout out to Clayaki Zolmi. He's the reason I found out about all this stuff. And if you can't do it, who cares? Because all you're getting is a piece of crap 5-star Maxwell. If you can do the 10,000 karma reward, that'd be great. But if you can't evoke the Diabolos and finish the fight, don't worry about it. Because there is a chance. Because basically what I want to say about all this is basically what this shows, that they've given us a 5-star Maxwell, and that there is this FFBE banner going on. The FFBE banner that happened in Global happened at the same time as a second FFBE, a sequel FFBE banner for JP. So it's more than likely that our global version is going to get their own banner for newer FFBE characters, such as Veritas of the Darkness and all of them, who's supposed to be really, really good. So it's exciting. And so don't worry about it too much. If you couldn't beat that fight, do not worry about it. Honestly, the Metal Cactars is probably way more valuable, and there is a chance that you'll be able to have another chance at getting Maxwell, probably as a 6-star. There is a chance that you may not be able to get her because you missed her out on her the first time. I'm sorry if that's the case. That is a possibility, but I have a feeling that you will be able to get her, just because I feel like enough people will complain, and Square Enix will probably just be like, yeah, why not? Why don't we just re-release something that was one time only, and middle finger everybody once again. So, maybe I sound a little salty. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mad about wasting all of Friday and Saturday and part of Sunday on Maxwell. But, it wasn't that hard for some people. I just had to do a lot of grinding. I told you about the team I went in there first. Went in Vaughn, Lightning, Lena. I think I had Arc. Those guys didn't do anything. They just did nothing. You really need some super strong 6-star units. I had 2 tanks. I'm talking 2 tanks. I had Cecil, and I had a Warrior of Light. Bringing Diabolos is probably the tricky part, because you have to put Diabolos on somebody that's gonna survive wearing Diabolos. What I mean by that is Diabolos brings your light resist down. I think it's like 50%, and you need that light resist because that's what Maxwell's gonna hit your behind with. So the team I won with was Cloud of Darkness 6-star, which I had to grind to get. From Lena, I had to scrap Lena and finally make a Refia 6-star, which I'm glad I had a Refia from the FFB banner when it first came around. If you guys missed that, oh, I'm so sorry, but hopefully you have Tillith, Refia. They're both really good white mages, but Tillith is a little better for like a higher MP cost, but you might as well have Tillith basically. But you know, I did it with Refia, Cloud of Darkness, the 2 tanks I talked about before, which is Cecil and Warrior of Light. That's almost all 6 stars. The only 5-star I had in there was which the hardest part, of course, everybody's going to tell you, was doing the evocation of Diabolos. To do that, I did use Rydia, and I had to actually catch up on my quest to get to the point where I could recipe hypers, where I could create the recipe for hypers. And I had to throw hypers at her more than once, because when you die you lose all your buffs and you have to put the buffs back on, which is a horrible part to this fight. But I had to put this crap on multiple times, you know, to use her limit break to fill the summon bar. And guess what? When I finally did get it off, it filled it part ways. There was still like 20% left. I was mad as heck. I was just like so sad. I had suffered through so many deaths. I used so many elixirs, so many turbo ethers. It was an arduous fight to get. Like, part of me is like, yo, that was the worst waste of time and really mad, but like another part of me is just like, that was like actually really cool and really fun to have to set up a party that I never would have before just to beat this boss. Like, I think that's a really cool concept and really fun for the future. I do feel like they need to make it more fair. Gumi, come on, make it a little more fair, just a little more fair. That's all I ask. Give us a little bit more fairness when it comes to the timing of when these bosses come out. It's awesome and it's really fun when you can get, when you can get this done, when you can get this stuff done. But for the thousands, the hundreds of thousands of people, poor people I've read about who just could not do it without, they could, but they needed like some monstrous like friend unit with 600 plus, way more, no, I want to say 650 plus, strength, attack power. So I don't know, just something to think about. I think that's kind of like my stance on it. Like, I know you gotta be like a business, but I would like to see the price. The prices for all these mobile games. All these mobile games are honestly like too much. I'd like to see just the price on all of them drop in general. Like, it's just kind of like effed up. Like, they charge us like a little bit more because of convenience, because it's a mobile game. And a lot of these games you can buy for like $8 and $16. You guys can just download. I mean, no, I didn't say nothing like that. But basically, you could probably find them somewhere else for cheaper to free. That's all I'm saying. But money is money. Companies gotta make their money. I'm just saying, I would like to see some of these pools be a little bit more affordable for just some people. I think it would break a lot of people out of the free-to-play mold, you know, even if it's like $1, come on. Like, imagine dollar pools, you guys. Imagine dollar pools. Imagine dollar pools. Let me just say that. $1 pools. Could you imagine how many times you would pull? And like, that's not that much money that the player base would spend. I mean, just as an option. Just as an option. Just something to think about, Square Enix. If someone's listening, I don't know, maybe there's plenty of jobs out there in social media, so it's possible. I do want to say that I was able to beat the fight, but I did have to. I'm not kidding at all when I say I grinded for 2.5 days, almost. Basically, I'll say 2 days. I grinded for 2 days to get this. I don't want to even say 2 days. I want to say maybe like, if I had to say total, like maybe 10-12 hours total though. But that's still a lot of time, you guys. For a mobile game, that's a ton of time. To be able to get to a point where I stood a chance against Maxwell. So, something to think about. Let me know what y'all think. You know, leave a commento down below. I respond to every comment. I definitely do my best to do that. You know, I love to see y'all. I love to see the interaction between the community. So let's keep it going. You guys know I'm a Lockhart. You guys can check out more about that. We're gonna have a page coming up and all that good stuff. A Lockhart's page. You guys can read more about that. But basically, it's just a community of gamers, you guys, who come together for the love of gaming. And that's really what it's about. It's about love and gaming. So if that's two things you're into, maybe you should consider locking hearts with us. You know, just something to think about. But you know, let me know what y'all think, and catch y'all later. Thanks for listening. You made it through all this, man. I wish I could hug you. I wish I could, like, you know, talk to you in a room or on like a couch over like tea or coffee or something. But you know, maybe someday. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.